I think having an older brother like him has really changed me for the better.
She is quite literally the happiest person you will ever meet in your life.
I've become more outgoing. I've become more of an empath and more of a leader.
She always has a smile, and she always knows how to make any situation into a positive one, or at least something that you can laugh about.
I've always just strived to be half the leader that he is.
So whenever she enters a room, you know, her smile and her energy, it changes people. I'll start. You want me?
You do the honors.
All right. I was a baseball player for the longest time when I was a kid. What really changed my perspective from baseball to lacrosse was I was kind of like in the outfield, you know, picking flowers, and my father, he said, hey, well, you know, why don't you try lacrosse for a year? And so the plan was to go for a year, go back to baseball, or see how I liked it, but I switched and never went back.
When I was little, like, you know, I'd just play around with my little sister on the sidelines. I didn't really understand much. It wasn't really until like late middle school that I started paying attention when he was at St. Paul and he was doing great things, where I was like, okay, yeah, I definitely want to play this sport again. So, you know, asked for a nice stick for Christmas, got ready. We always had a rebounder in our backyard, and so I'd pass with Bryson. I was always surrounded by it, you know, like first like with my dad and then Bryson. I think being surrounded by it and seeing how much he enjoyed it made me, in a sense, enjoy it, and I wanted to be just as good as he was. So
she definitely taught me that I'm not as mature as I thought I was. When I was a senior and she was a freshman, and she had already adapted into her own person at a small high school, in which it might not be easy to do that, especially with siblings. There was never a shadow. She was always her own person. And so she definitely taught me that, you know, she can do whatever she wants.
it makes it a lot easier on me emotionally. Being away from my family, we're so close-knit, but having him has made the adjustment so much easier.
It's kind of hard to summarize the past 4 years into a small excerpt, but it's family. You know, the guys that I came in with my freshman class, the older guys that acclimated me into the program, those kids have stuck with me. And you know, I talk to a lot of them day in and day out. They're all of the different adversity that everyone's been through. I couldn't say anything else but family, because you know, we've all been through it together.
Coming to Bryson's games and just seeing the community, and I loved just watching him play and seeing how the team interacted, seeing the boys yell coming onto the fields. I knew that being on a team in college would be so incredible. It'd be so good for me. Obviously, I've only been here for a season of fall ball, but I am grateful that I have Bryson here. Whenever I call him most days, even just small little things, and he helps me out even when it doesn't come to lacrosse. Yeah, I'm grateful to have him on campus.
I have my younger sister here, and you know, I always want to be impressive to her, and you know, I always want to make sure that she sees me in a light that is better than I am. And so trying to keep up with making sure that I'm the best version of myself for her as possible. Definitely adds a little bit of pressure, because now she's right here to see it, so she can call me off when I'm slacking off. I always aspire to be as hardworking as she is, definitely when it comes to athletics or school or anything in her life, but especially athletics. You know, I would love to have the work ethic that she does. She shows it day in and day out, every second.
He's a really good kid. He's a lot to look up to, and in my eyes, a lot to live up to, and I've always strived to be half the leader that he is. You know, he's such a good kid, and all I've ever heard from people around me is how nice my brother is, how smart he is, how athletic he is. So I've always used that to motivate me. As much as he says it's the opposite, I've always looked up to him.